Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we have a Los Angeles Lakers video for you. I think they have done a pretty solid job in free agency. They've definitely done a better job than I would have had anticipated. Their roster, like 1 week ago, looked completely different than what it is right now. But guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Will, and today we have a Lakers video. If you want more NBA content, more Lakers content, hit that like button, hit that sub button. I do this every single day. So let's just get right into it. I don't know if the Lakers, I don't believe they've made any moves today. My guess is that they're not done. I don't think the Lakers are done yet. We'll start the video off talking about Dennis Schroeder because honestly, guys, I think the sign and trade's off the table. It appears as if, especially with the Wizards getting Spencer Dinwiddie yesterday, it appears as if the window has closed on a sign and trade for Dinwiddie. And let me even just be clear real quick. Even if it was a sign and trade, we're talking like maybe some second round picks, maybe some second round pick swaps. Like, we're not talking anything crazy. This isn't like the Bulls getting Lonzo Ball in return for, what was it, Satoransky and Garrett Temple, right? So it's like usually lopsided because, the other team has the leverage. It's not that much leverage. You don't hold that much leverage. So it's not, I see a lot of Laker guys thinking like, oh, let's do a sign and trade with the Celtics for Spencer Dinwiddie and Marcus Smart. Like, it wouldn't be that. It would be like Spencer Dinwiddie and like a second round pick or, a mid-level exception or something, or a trade exception or something like that. Something like that. So the Boston Celtics are reportedly rumored to be interested in Dennis Schroeder. Now, to me, they have to be. I don't really know. Honestly, I don't really know much about the Celtics roster anymore. I know they lost Fournier. Obviously, they got Jaylen Brown. They've got Jason Tatum. I know they re-signed Enes Kanter, but that can't be that big of a move. So my guess is that they try and push Dennis Schroeder pretty hard. Now, I think Dennis Schroeder really just screwed himself. I don't think he'll be getting anywhere close to how much he's expecting. Honestly, maybe even like 12 to 15 million. Like something like that. I wouldn't be surprised one bit if he played himself that low to a contract. And the issue is, you have the Knicks signing Kemba Walker. I honestly thought Schroeder to the Knicks was very realistic. Lonzo Ball went to the Bulls. All these point guards have dried up. Devontae Graham landed in New Orleans. Kyle Lowry landed in Miami. Like, so much has happened. So much has happened at the point guard position in the matter of nothing. It's okay, though, because the Lakers got their guy, Russell Westbrook. I really like what Rob Pelinka did for the Lakers this offseason. I think it was genius. And basically what he did is he went out, he got his floor general in Russell Westbrook, and then he surrounded him with just good shooters, solid enough defenders. That's kind of like my low-key worry about this squad next season. However, they did re-sign THT to a 3-year contract, which was huge. Apparently, the Buddy Hield sweepstakes are still up and running. I expect that to go for probably the whole season. But the Lakers made a lot of veteran moves. I believe their current average age is well over 30 years old. I think it's somewhere around 30 to 31. Honestly, I think it's pretty solid. If they stay healthy for the whole season, they're going to be a really good basketball team. They would be a feared basketball team. Now, I do think that people overstep Carmelo Anthony's role, Malik Monk's role, Kendrick Nunn's role. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that these guys are going to be putting up crazy statistics like some fans may think. Like Malik Monk putting up 20 consistently off the bench probably won't happen. Malik Monk dropping 20 here and there off the bench will happen. So I think they did a great job getting guys. We'll talk about Kendrick Nunn and Malik Monk right away because I think those two signings will go down as two of the most underrated signings of the entire offseason. Now, much like when the Lakers first won their championship 2 years ago and the offseason following it, the Lakers did lose a good, solid amount of their core from last season. And I'll talk about Alex Caruso right away. I think losing Alex Caruso is extremely detrimental to this Lakers squad. He's on the Bulls. The Bulls got him for a steal. I don't know if the Lakers just didn't pay him or if Caruso wanted out. It just is a huge blow because this is an elite defender, a playmaker. This is a guy you don't have to pay too much money to come off the bench, and he'll still produce no matter what. And I think losing Caruso was huge. But getting Malik Monk, getting Kendrick Nunn on extremely cheap contracts. Kendrick Nunn's, 2 years, $10 million with a player option. And then I think Malik Monk's is like $1.7 million or something like that for the year, which is just extremely cheap. I mean, these guys are like 23 years old. Malik Monk's 23 years old. He's coming off the best season of his career. Yeah, he's had some injury issues, but I mean, he's coming off the best season of his career. So getting those two guys, bringing back Dwight Howard, I think will be even better for the Lakers than retaining Andre Drummond. I don't think Andre Drummond was a good fit for the Lakers one bit. I was wrong. I was extremely wrong. If you guys have been watching my channel, you know I was huge on Andre Drummond, man. When they first got Andre Drummond at the trade deadline, I was losing it. I thought that was the biggest move I'd ever seen mid-season. I was flat dead wrong. I was just completely wrong. He did not much for the Lakers. I think getting a guy like Dwight Howard, who won a championship with your team 2 years ago, it's huge. It's exactly what you need. And personally, I think the Lakers should still go after another big man. I mean, they lost a lot of people. They lost Drummond. They lost Harrell. Like, they lost some big men, and I think the lack of big men last season was one of the reasons that they struggled. The NBA is moving towards a league of physicality again. It might sound crazy, but three-point shooting hasn't become as prevalent as it has in years past. You're not playing the Golden State Warriors with KD, Steph, and Clay. You're playing the Milwaukee Bucks, who aren't a good three-point, who aren't shooting the ball. Well, what'd they shoot in the playoffs? 34% from three, 33% from three. I believe it was the lowest three-point average ever for an NBA final champion, or at least the last 10, 20 years. Now, so getting Dwight was huge. Getting a guy like Noel would have been nice. I'm trying to think of who the free agents. Getting a guy like Aaron Baines may be big for him. I don't think that's what gets me back to I don't think the Lakers are done, because I do believe that they'll target another big man. Now, just moving down the roster, obviously you got guys like LeBron and AD and Russell Westbrook, and I think that most people are putting the emphasis of this roster onto the low-key signings, the Carmelo Anthony, the Wayne Ellington, the Trevor Ariza, the Monk and Nunn. Like, I think too many people are emphasizing those trades and not the big trade that landed them Russell Westbrook. I mean, Russell Westbrook is a first-team Hall of Famer. You know, he is a first-team Hall of Famer. You have never seen a player like Russell Westbrook ever before. The closest thing is Magic Johnson, and their games are pretty unique to their own. I mean, Russell Westbrook's averaged a triple-double 4 out of the last 5 seasons. The man is just different. And he is willing to play off ball for this Lakers team. He is willing to do his role. He's willing to do basically whatever he has to do in order for the Lakers to win. And so you get a guy like that, and you pair him next to LeBron James and Anthony Davis. All you need is just good surrounding pieces. The team is going to revolve around Russ, LeBron, and AD. As it should. That's your best 3 players. That's who it needs to revolve around. And then guys like Carmelo and his new and improved 40% three-point stroke. Like, that's going to come in handy. Dwight Howard's physicality will come in handy. All this stuff just adds on to the LeBron and AD and Russ effect. I've never seen LeBron and Russ play basketball together. I can't wait. I wonder what it's going to be like. If you guys have been watching my channel, I used to cover, or I cover the Rockets. I cover a lot of the Rockets. And so, you know, I watched a lot of Russell Westbrook here in Houston. And I live in Chicago. I don't know why I said here in Houston. But I watched a lot of Russell Westbrook in Houston, and it just was never going to work. It was never going to work. You got the guy who leads the league in usage, and you got the guy who second place in usage. It's never going to work. Even if it was going to work, they tried their best. They surrounded them with shooters. No freaking height for no reason. I think that's their biggest weakness, was that their biggest man was like PJ Tucker. It's ridiculous. But I was saying, and every time I watch that, like, Russell Westbrook will never win in his entire career. I was so firm on that. I would say this all the time. Russell Westbrook will never win anything in his career unless he plays with LeBron James. And I had never anticipated ever the possibility of Russell Westbrook actually teaming up with LeBron James. I thought Dennis Schroeder and the Lakers were going to run it back this year. I thought Kyle Kuzma and the Lakers were going to run it back this year. Montrezl Harrell. It's fun to, like, talk trade hypotheticals, like, oh, Lakers trading for Chris Paul, Lakers trading for Russell Westbrook. Like, it's fun to make those types of videos. But then when it actually happens, it's like, holy cow. I don't think people really understand just how much getting Russell Westbrook in your starting lineup, it's completely game-changing. And it's like, it's flown. It's almost as if it's flying below the radar because of all the minuscule signings that just have big name brands. You know, Dwight Howard, Carmelo Anthony. Like, people see that and they see they're rejoining the Lakers, and it's like, oh, shoot. Whereas first ballot Hall of Famer Russell Westbrook is now your starting point guard, and I feel like people aren't really talking about that. They will start to talk about it. It's just the free agency hype the last couple of days. The Russ trades kind of just is flying below the radar. So, like I said, I don't think that the Lakers are done. I'm trying to think of some players that I think that they'll target here in the upcoming days. I literally can't think of any single players. As I was researching Lakers all day, all night. I had players that I thought the Lakers would target before I made this video, and I knew I should have written them down. But anyways, guys, that's going to be it for today. If you enjoyed it, hit the like button, hit that sub button. I appreciate you guys so much. If you're still watching this video right now, if you want to comment something, you know, maybe like spaghetti or something weird, some food group, that would be awesome. I seriously, like, it means so much that you guys are watching this still 12 minutes into the video. It helps so much. This is helping me get to that next level of YouTube. So thank you guys so much for watching the channel. And let me know if you have any video ideas you want me to cover down below. Otherwise, I will see you guys later today.